All right, so today is July 1st, 2024, and I want to welcome us to analysis. For those who are new on the platform, my name is Ruti Mulawale. I'm the PU Prime analyst right at the Lagos office. PU Prime is a global brand. Our head office is in Australia, and we have two offices in Nigeria. The head office for Nigeria is in Abuja, while we have the regional office in Lagos. And we're a global brand. We have physical offices in over 20 nations, across the world. So if you're new, you're welcome. If you don't have an account with us, soon I'll drop the link www.puprime.com, with which you can open a live account and start trading with PU Prime. Now, those who know us know that we give a lot of value on this platform, and we don't just give signals. We don't just give you the fish. We teach you how to catch the fish, and that's part of what this analysis session is all about, for us to look at what is expected to happen in the market this week and prepare ourselves for it, both from technical and fundamental perspective. And please don't forget, this Friday, we're going to have the NFP. I'm still going to talk about it in the analysis session. We're going to have the NFP non-farm payroll. We'll have a live trading session for this. So again, if you don't have an account, you need to open an account so that it can be a part of that NFP on Friday. And aside opening account, you also need to fund the account to trade along with us and make money, which we've always done at NFP and CPI. These are two events we hold, once each month. We have two live trading sessions in a month for our fundamental events. NFP first Friday, that's non-farm payroll, and CPI, Consumer Price Index, which comes up sometimes a week or 2 weeks after NFP. All right, let's roll with what we have today. So this week, we have quite some fundamental events. Today, Monday, usually Mondays are not with news events, but today, maybe because we're just starting a new week, we have a lot of, fundamental events today. We have a lot of fundamental events today. So we have Euro, from the Eurozone, we have German prelim CPI, and it's an all-day event. Canada is on holiday today. So that tells us that we need to be very careful of trading the CAD, because volatility may be low on the CAD PS. And in the afternoon, we have final manufacturing PMI from the US. But the most important part today is that by 3:15 p.m., we have two fundamental events from the United States. I think that drawing is wrong. Let me use a better tool. So by 3 p.m. today, we have two fundamental events happening concurrently from the United States. 8 p.m., there'll be ECB President Lagarde will give a speech, but that will be 8 p.m. If you're a day trader, you may not really be in the market at that time. So we don't really have much for today from fundamental angle, on in the market rather. But then we need to take note of the one by 2:45 and 3 p.m. from the United States. Tomorrow, Tuesday, now because of time, I'll just focus on the really important events because we have a lot to share this morning. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have from the Eurozone, we have core CPI and CPI flash estimates. This will likely move the market. So let's prepare for that by 10 a.m. tomorrow. And also tomorrow by 2:30 p.m., two events from the United States. That's the Fed Chair Powell will speak, and there'll be job opening. So those are the two major fundamental events for tomorrow, Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we have retail sales from Australia in the night, 2 a.m. You might stay awake to trade that. We're talking about making money here, so it's not going to be out of place to just sacrifice staying awake. If you can stay awake and trade within 2 minutes, you make like $10, $20, $50, $100. I think it's worth it with the current economic situation in Nigeria. Any avenue to make money legitimately is a welcome one, and that's what PU Prime actually offers. So 2:30 a.m. on Wednesday, we have the retail sales from Australia, and in the course of the day, broad daylight now, we have the ADP non-farm employment change and unemployment claims from the United States. Both combined will actually move the market. ADP non-farm employment change comes up by 1:15 p.m. and the unemployment claims comes up by 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Let's plan. In fact, Wednesday is filled with a lot of dollar news, so it's a day loaded with activities. 2:45 and 3 p.m. there are other dollar USD news again, and 3:15 p.m. Euro ECB President Lagarde and the FOMC meeting minutes. This is really not the main FOMC. It's just the meeting, the minutes of the meeting of the FOMC that will be held, on Wednesday. On Thursday by 7:30 a.m., there'll be CPI from Switzerland, and let's take note of that. That will move the market. That's 7:30 a.m. on Thursday. I think that's a major event. Okay, all the parliamentary elections. Oh, there's going to be election in the UK on Thursday, so we need to be careful of trading the pound. Pound might experience some volatility or maybe unstable on Thursday. Let's watch out for that. I think that's the main event for Thursday. There'll be bank holiday in the United States. We need to take note of that also. That might affect the volatility of the dollar. But the biggest event this week is actually the NFP on Friday. And that's what I mentioned earlier. You might have been joining us on online live sessions without trading. You need to make a change by trading with us and making money. Don't just always be on the fence. Friday is the biggest event in FX. That's the average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate, all from the United States, happening live by 1:30 p.m. Now, simultaneously, Canada is having a similar type of event also. So our emphasis is going to be on the USD, but coincidentally, Canada will have employment change and unemployment rate, which is a similar type of news to what we have as NFP. But then, like I said, our focus is going to be on the USD. So if you're there, you've been hearing about PU Prime having live trading session for NFP CPI, and you are here to join us, you need to join us on this one. So to join us, if you're there on the platform, you don't have a live account with PU Prime, please just visit our website right now. I'm typing it in the comment section, www.puprime.com, and open a live account, immediately. Verify your account. You need 2 documents to verify your account. You need a government issued ID, which can be your driver's license or international passport or NIN or voter's card. Any one of those 4 can be used to verify your account. And you need a second document, which is your proof of residence. Now, proof of residence can be any utility bill precisely written in your name. So it could be your NEPA bill, your LOMA bill, your water rate bill, as long as it carries your name as the owner of the property, then you can use it. Peradventure, you're not the owner of the property. You may use your bank statement, because your bank already has verified your account and verified your address. Or if you don't want to use your bank statement, you can use any of the IDs I mentioned earlier, especially the one that carries your address. That's very important. You can use any one of them that carries your address for your proof of address. The only clause is that don't use the same documents you use for your proof of address, for your proof of ID. So peradventure, you're using an international passport for your proof of ID. You can use maybe your voter's card. If it contains your address, you can use that also for your proof of address. So if you need any further guidance on that, you can reach out to any of our staff, any of our admin on the platform. They will guide you through the process. And most importantly, make sure you fund your account to join us to trade. When you fund your account, there are bonuses you can have access to, which can help boost your account to enjoy more leverage to trade with us. All right, so that being said, Smile Archibong, please, your question can come up much later. I don't want it to distract what I want to do at the moment, but definitely I will respond to your question. So we've looked at the fundamentals that we have ahead for the week. Now I want to flip over now to MetaTrader and we'll look at the technicals. Now for today's fundamental event, the trade will come up in the afternoon. So when we do the afternoon analysis, we'll focus more on that. But now I'll flip over to the MetaTrader platform and we'll look at the technicals for this week and how we should prepare ourselves, how we should brace ourselves up for what to trade. I'll start with the dollar index. You can see currently that the dollar index is actually, trading downwards. It's actually in a downtrend. This is very clear that the dollar index is bearish. Now, this is dollar index on the 4-hour time frame, and we have a rising wedge pattern, and price has broken out of the rising wedge. So we expect, a bearish movement on dollar this week. Though there's a little close because currently it's trading close to a minor support zone. So it depends on how volatile the market will be today. If there is sufficient volatility, now it's close to that support zone, if there's sufficient volatility to break it, and we see a further bearish movement. Mr. Ikman, kindly be watchful of your annotation to your causing distraction on my screen. So if the volatility is strong enough, we may see a breakout and further bearish movement. Otherwise, price may hit the support zone and bounce a little before going down forward. And if it bounces a little like that, it may, I'm not saying it must or it will, it may form a head and shoulder, then continue, or it may just touch it a little bounce and continuation. Either ways, what you are looking out for is eventually a bearish breakout. So I still maintain a bearish outlook, on the dollar for this week. Now, if the dollar is bearish for the week from the dollar index, then I'll look at the dollar, the USD CHF. Now, the USD CHF, we've been having a bearish outlook on this instrument since last week, and somehow it didn't go as planned. But maybe this week we might see the breakout, because the USD CHF currently is trading under a support. We have valid support levels here. Price broke the support as a resistance. We saw a bearish movement. Again, price is back to that, earlier support zone turn resistance. We expect, a bearish movement, this week on the dollar. So, and that is in line with what we're seeing on the dollar index. Another confirmation for us is that, the USD CHL last week closed as a rejection candle on the daily time frame, though in all fairness, it's a bullish rejection candle. But nonetheless, if price is unable to break out above, that resistance, we still expect, a reversal. So I still maintain that bearish outlook, on the USD CHF. We can flip back to the 1 hour time frame, and on 1 hour, this is what I'm seeing at the moment. I'm seeing a rising wedge pattern, which is equally a bearish reversal pattern. So if price breaks out below that, then we should get ready for a bearish breakout on the USD CHF. So I'm bearish on the USD CHF. I equally hold the bearish outlook on the USD JPY. Like I said, for quite a while, we've been very careful about the JPY pairs, but then USD JPY might respond to what the dollar index is doing at the moment. And what I'm seeing on the USD JPY on 4 hour time frame is a rising wedge pattern. And if I flip further to the line chart, I can see a pattern right here that's looking like it's forming, maybe a head and shoulder. It's still information. If it evolves finally into that, that can lead to a bearish breakout on the USD JPY. So I equally hold a bearish outlook on the USD JPY. And also on the USD CAD. Now, USD CAD currently, as you can see, is trading within a symmetrical triangle on the 4 hour time frame. For symmetrical triangles, a breakout upwards is a buy, a breakout downwards is a sell. Yeah, price seems to be approaching the support level there, the trend line. If price breaks out downward, then we're going to sell. And generally for now, we hold the view that the dollar is bearish. So let's just watch out and see what happens to the USD CAD. However, if price touches the trend line and it does not break out, we might see, a reversal within this symmetrical triangle. It may just go up and come down and trade within that until eventually either it breaks out or it breaks upwards. So, but then let's just hold on to the general outlook of symmetrical triangle, which says that price will go or break out upwards or downwards, and watch, how the market really evolves into that. So for USD CAD, I'll just maintain a sideways view, because that's the general view, of the USD CAD for symmetrical triangle. And next I want to look at is gold. Now I discovered that a lot of patterns this week I'm seeing there are more swing. We have more than like 90% of swing setup. And that might be because we are just starting a new month and the market is getting ready for some long-term move. So that might be responsible for that. Now for gold, if you go down first upwards to the daily time frame, we can clearly see that price has been bouncing off, this trend line on the daily time frame. And last week rather, we had a pattern that looks a little close, to like an engulfing candle over there. Then we have the other downward trend line. And finally, last Friday closed, with this rejection candle. It's standing alone, it's not touching any trend line. But then if you look at it closely, this is a close pattern to a symmetrical triangle. It's not a perfect one in the real sense, but the closest thing I can associate this with is a symmetrical triangle. Now, if I flip down to the 4-hour time frame, I'm now seeing something evolving right here, which is an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which will see to a possible bullish breakout on gold. Now, we already maintain a bearish outlook on the dollar. If you are bearish on the dollar, that means that gold is free to go in the bullish direction. So all things being equal, if this works out for gold, then we may be expecting, a bullish breakout once price breaks above the neckline. Currently, you can see that the 4-hour candle is already looking bullish on gold. So we will just be getting ready for some, massive bullish breakout on gold. Now, on this one, you don't need to wait for price to break the trend line. If it breaks above the neckline zone, that is enough to trigger a buy on gold. However, I will caution in trading gold because gold can be volatile, and trading gold on 4-hour time frame means you need to be extra cautious. You understand? You need to be extra cautious. Preferably use a lower lot size. Irrespective of the account you're trading, maintain a low profile, manage your risk with a lower lot size, so that because there will be fluctuation in between. It's possible to see some retracement so that you don't get into a panic mode when such happens. But then technically, I'm bullish on gold for this week. And the next I want to look at is the US oil. Now, the US oil, I've had a personal interest on this instrument for almost 2 weeks now. Thereabouts. I don't think it's last week. I think it's almost 2 weeks. Now, on the weekly time frame, we can draw a trend line here that connects down, to different lower high points on this. And last week candle, closed, touching this trend line. This indicates a possible bounce in the bearish direction. So if you flip down to the daily time frame, on the daily time frame, we have a scenario of a support rather, a support turned resistance, which is equally indicative of, price breaking out from a support zone to a resistance. It's also indicating a possible reversal in the bearish direction. And most importantly, last Friday closed as a rejection candle on the daily time frame. And to make it even clearer, it's a bearish candle already, a bearish reversal candle. That tells you the strength of the possible bearish movement. So we expect a bearish movement on US oil for this week. Now we can scale this down to either 4-hour time frame. And on 4-hour time frame, this is what I have. I have I have a rising wedge pattern, which is equally indicating a possible bearish breakout. So a lot of things is pointing to a possible bearish breakout on US oil. Or you can still scale it down to 1 hour. And with 1 hour, you're looking at a breakout from this point, downward. So either ways, either as a swing or intraday, we're actually looking at a bearish outlook on the US oil, for this week. And after the US oil, I'm looking at BTC. Yeah, for BTC lovers, I believe there should be some volatility on the BTC this week. But as I always say, BTC should be traded with as much caution as possible because of its volatility. Now, for BTC, I said it last week that if the week closed with this last week candle as a rejection candle, then we will be expecting a bullish movement this week. I remember saying that sometime last week, and that seems to be what is happening at the moment, because on the weekly time frame, Last week candle closed as a rejection candle. I didn't do that too well. All right, close as a rejection candle, meaning we will have, a possible bullish movement this week. So if we flip down to the daily time frame, to the 4-hour, we can clearly see that price seems to break. It has already broken out, above the trend line up there in the bullish direction. However, it's possible that we see some slight decline before a further breakout. That's a possibility. And one of the reasons why it's a possibility is because there's a minor support zone right here. You can see that price reacted when it got there. You can see a minor rejection candle when price got there. So that can lead to a slight decline before a further bullish breakout. So what I will advise is that for you to trade BTC in a bullish direction, wait for a clear break above this current resistance level. Again, there might be a decline before that breakout. So let's take note of that while trading BTC. And please also take note that this analysis is on 4-hour time frame, which is swing. So if you're there, you trade BTC maybe on 15 minutes, I will advise you scale down to your own time frame. Swing trading for BTC, can require you to have enough trading capital because there could be some swing in between. It's advisable if your normal time frame is 15 minutes, try to scale down to 15 minutes and make your entry, on that time frame that is comfortable for you. And don't forget that BTC can be volatile, so trade it with caution. And next is the New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD on the daily time frame. Like I said, most of the sector this week are swing because we're just starting a new month. So the market is getting set for a long-term movement. But I believe in the course of the day, some intraday will show up. Like USD this morning is an intraday setup. You can take advantage of that. So for New Zealand CAD, we have a scenario of a resistance that turns support. Currently, we have another support. So this is resistance turns support, and price is hitting another support. We expect a further bullish movement. So we can flip down to 4-hour, and on 4-hour time frame, this is what we have. We have a falling wedge pattern. All right, so we're expecting price to break out above this to trigger a buy. Now, price is actually close to the tip of the trend line, but then I will still advise that you wait for a clear breakout, of this minor resistance zone. So a breakout above the trend line and above the resistance zone, and we should be ready to see a massive bullish movement on New Zealand CAD. All right, next I'll look at is AUD-CHF is another instrument of interest this week, and not just this week, this month. I strongly believe this month. Now, there's the AUD-CHF on the weekly time frame. It's getting ready for a massive bearish breakout. We have a descending trend line on the weekly time frame, price touching lower highs, and it touched the third time right here, and we can see there was a decline. And looking at this further, I'm seeing a head and shoulder information, which might lead to a further bearish breakout. It's clearer on the daily time frame. So this is AUD-CHF on the daily time frame, and we have that massive head and shoulder that will decline further downwards. Now, if this works out just like this, this is today's candle. It's just 7:45 a.m. and we already have a bearish, candle right here for today, getting ready for that, bearish breakout. So how do we enter into a trade on this? We can flip down to 4-hour. This is better traded as a swing. On the 4-hour, we have a rising wedge pattern. So we can anticipate a breakout downwards from here, waiting for price to break below this minor support. Let me put it properly. All right. So waiting for price to break below this minor support, and that can lead to a massive, bearish breakout. So I hold a bearish outlook on AED-CHF, not just for this week, for this month, because that's a big trend we're expecting there, with a potential of, let's look at it, the potential of now it's not really so much of a volatile instrument. AED-CHF is not so volatile, but then you can still take advantage of this move to make some claim pips for yourself. So Fibonacci 50 can hit like about 120 pips, 26, let's just say 120 pips on the average, to a Fibonacci 61.8 can hit about 180 pips, and to Fibonacci 78.6 can hit about 260 pips, all in the course of the month. This will span beyond 1 week. It's a big time frame. And this is just for those who have the patience. If you don't have the patience, please look at the lower time frame. This is not for you. It's for those who are the patient type. So that's just my general view of the AED-CHF actually for the month of July. And finally, I'll look at NAS 100. Now for NAS 100, we have a very beautiful pattern, which I believe will evolve into something good this week. This is the last week Friday candle. It closed as a rejection candle on the daily time frame. And at the same time, it closed, price actually, the rejection candle hit the resistance level on the daily time frame. That is indicative of a bearish movement. Though don't forget the fact that we could still actually have price go and hit that place again before dropping. That's a possibility. But generally, we have a bearish outlook on this instrument. So we can flip down to the 4-hour time frame. And if we flip down to 4-hour, this is what we have at the moment. Price has broken the trend line, getting ready for a bearish breakout, though there's a retracement at the moment. Like I said, price might come up here to test this trend line before dropping further. And if that happens, we may end up having a head and shoulder right here, confirming a further bearish breakout. So it's not tradable yet. It's not, because of the retracement we are experiencing. So what I would suggest you do is that you wait for price to break this support level on the 4-hour. So you can wait for price to drop, because it's doing its up movement, maybe form a head and shoulder. Then when it breaks the neckline, then you can trigger a sell. So we're bearish on NAS 100. All right, so that's going to be all from me for this week. Please take note of all the instruments I've analyzed. The market will go in those directions, at least as good as like 70 or 75%. We've been doing this for long, and we have a track record. So please take note of that in taking your trading decisions in the course of the week. I've analyzed about 11 instruments. Here I can see people are, dropping requests here and there. Apologies, we had just a minor network break there, but we're back. All right, like I said, I was trying to respond to requests that are being dropped. I'll take them one by one. We need to run, the through in a few minutes so that we can get this started. Prince Daniel is asking me to analyze Euro USD. Now, don't forget we said we are bearish on the dollar. So if you are bearish on the dollar, there's a strong possibility that Euro USD might be going bullish. But then if I don't mention a particular instrument, it's possible that we don't have much strong analysis on it at that point in time. That's why I really don't mention it. Now for Euro USD on the daily time frame, we can clearly see we have a a symmetrical triangle right on the daily time frame. And price recently, has touched the lower highs. This is the third time, and it's making its way up. However, the week started as, we had a gap that started the week. And currently, even though it's looking bullish, we don't just trade things because it's looking. We want to trade because we have, more reasons why we want to trade. In the real sense, this looks a lot like a triple bottom, not exactly an inverse head and shoulder. It looks more like a triple bottom pattern, and the price has broken the neckline. But then I'll be wary of saying you should enter a buy on Euro USD now. Reason is because RSI is already at 68. When it gets to 70, there will be a decline. I can guarantee you that. So even if you want to buy Euro USD, wait, there will be an initial decline. Then maybe when price is pushing back up, you can buy. Otherwise, you have USD CHF. That one is as good as guaranteed it's going to sell. You can trade that. Except if you're already on the trade on Euro USD, fine. Otherwise, I would prefer you actually trade USD CHF compared to Euro USD. So I hope that's clear to that person. Mr. Ekman is asking about GBP cards. All right, so I'll look at GBP card. We actually had a bullish outlook on GBP card sometime last week. So let's take a look again. Now, in previous time on GBP card on the weekly time frame, we actually have price acting as a resistance and support here. So that is what the market is reacting to currently with the bullish movements we're seeing. And I think from my last week analysis, I was actually bullish. I remember the pattern I drew, which is a falling wedge pattern. See, the things all of them this week, they are doing swing. So yeah, if you're a day trader, you need to be careful and maybe enter on your own time frame. Most patterns this week, they are swing. All right, so we're actually having a bullish breakout on the GBP card. There's a minor resistance here. So you need to wait for a new candle to open above this level to trigger a buy. So it's a bullish outlook on GBP card. But like I said, wait for price to break out above this minor resistance, and that can help you to trigger a buy. All right, Mr. John Peter Chicks, can you privately chat with me or chat with any of the admins, on your request? You can chat with me privately on my WhatsApp or chat with any of the admins. Mr. Emmanuel, I've analyzed NAS 100. We're bearish on NAS 100. Okay, Barra, good news, sir. US oil, is it negative or positively correlated to the dollar index? Now, in terms of placement, we will say it's negatively correlated because the US oil is USOUST, meaning that the dollar is the base currency. But you see, sometimes when we talk about this positive or negative correlation, the way some instruments react to it, it's not as if it's instant like that. I know where you're trying to go is that we're saying the dollar is bearish and the US oil is bearish. In technical analysis, you say what you see. That's what I can see. You understand? And now we're not saying that there's going to be a conflict. It's possible there may be a conflict, but at the same time, it's possible US oil might sell before it also buys. So I'm only relating what I've seen from a technical angle, which cannot be denied. The worst that will happen is that dollar index does not break out in the bearish direction and it goes in the bullish. But from all technical indication, what I can see is the technical is a bearish outlook, which is exactly what the dollar is saying. So it means there's a kind of a conflict. But let's just see as the market evolves in the course of the week. At least at the end of the day, the worst that will happen is that one of them will be right, the other will be wrong. And we will not have triggered a trade in the wrong side if it has not broken out in that direction. So I still maintain my, bearish outlook on the US oil. Pardon me if I didn't pronounce your name well. Nkabir. Pardon that if it's not well pronounced. He asked me to check GBP USD. If you are bearish on the dollar, again, GBP USD might be going bullish, but then I also always like to have a perfect scenario reason to do that, not just because one is bearish, then you now just dump the other one bullish, you know. This is GBP USD on the 4-hour time frame. Let's go to the daily. On the daily, we have a pattern that looks like a falling wedge in the real sense, and price is actually looking bullish in the real sense. What I will advise, this is a swing setup, which is what is happening this week. Most setup are swing. A lot of the setup are swing this week. So what I will advise if you want to trade this is to wait for the next 4-hour candle. It's actually bullish. It's a bullish in all way. Wait till 10 o'clock. That's when this 4-hour candle will be exhausted. Wait till 10, then you can trigger a buy. But please trade with a lot of caution. If you're a day trader, instead of buying GBP USD, I would rather advise you sell USD CHF when USD CHF finally breaks out. That might be a little easier for you as a day trader. Euro CAD and Euro New Zealand. Okay, I have just about 2 minutes to go. Yeah, we had a bullish outlook on Euro New Zealand last week. If you took that trade, I will advise you to still hold on. That's if you're already in it. If you are not in it, then I'll advise you to just wait. Because, yeah, I analyzed the breakout in the bullish direction. That has already happened. Even though it wasn't volatile. Euro New Zealand was not volatile last week, but nevertheless, it still broke out. That's made over 80 pips, from the analysis of last week. Yeah, most of the analysis, some of them didn't make much pips, but at least they went in that direction. Like GBCHF was also volatile, but it's going in the direction. The same thing, EuroCAD. EuroCAD 2 is still bullish. You understand? So if you are yet to enter this one, I will say focus on what we have for this week. This is the last week analysis. But if you're already on it, hold on. It will still go a little bit further. You can hold on if you're already in it. And I mean, it's still bullish. That's what I'm trying to say. This is still bullish. So, but make sure you have your stop loss in place. And if you're already in profit, move your stop loss to break even to lock in your profit and protect that profit you have made. For EuroCAD, is the same thing. We're bullish on this last week on 1 hour. If you remember that my analysis last week for EuroCAD, I said I saw a double bottom pattern here and a breakout upwards. And that has happened. Our entry last week was somewhere around, let's use it, but that's why it's good to use Fibonacci too. Can easily go back to where you made your entry. Yeah, our entry was just right here, on Fibonacci 23.6. Currently, it's approaching Fibonacci 50 at 71 pips. You understand? So if you took this last week, you should be in profit, massive profit by now. 71 pips on EuroCAD. If I flip down to 4-hour, what I'm seeing now is an inverse head and shoulder. But the truth is that if once price hits Fibonacci 50, it's not the guarantee that it will go high is not so much. Yeah, it may go further to 61.8, but 50 and 61.8 are reversal points. So if you're on EuroCAD since last week, yeah, apologies, the network is not so stable. We got locked out again, but I'm back. So what I would say is this: if you're already on this trade and you're in profit, lock in your profit or close it. This is the beginning of a new week. There will be a retracement, so don't lose your profit. If you're already in profit, just close it and look out for the fresh trades this week. But this is a very good analysis from last week, which yielded profit for us. I will attend to just about 2 other questions and I'll be done. I don't have any setup on DG30. I've talked about NAS 100 And I've talked about gold. We are bullish on gold. We are bullish on gold. I've mentioned gold earlier, and I think that should be the last analysis I will do. Except for gold, we have a symmetrical triangle, and we have an inverse head and shoulder information, which we expect to break out upwards. However, I put a disclaimer, a note of caution there. This is gold hour. So trade gold on 4 hours with a lot of caution. It's swing, except you want to enter on 15 minutes. If that's your style, all well and good, but then trade gold with a lot of caution on 4 hours. But what I'm saying is a bullish, breakout, expected bullish breakout on gold on the 4-hour time frame. Madam Anaji, can we place our entries at Fibonacci 23.6 and 38.2 on which pair, so that I can better guide you? On which specific instrument? Prince David, I want to screenshot USD CHF. I will oblige that in a minute. I'm actually rounding up. So this is USD CHF for Prince David. This is a 1-hour setup. And we are expecting a bearish breakout, all things being equal. So don't forget there's a minor support, right here. A price is expected to break. I have a minor support right there. Yeah, so I think I've attended to Prince Daniel. Okay, Madam Onaji is asking, sometimes it may vary, but generally Fibonacci 23.6 is the best for entry. But there are times when you want to place the trade, discover that price has gone beyond 23.6. Now, this is a personal thing I do. If price has gone beyond 23.6 and I still believe the trade will go up based on my analysis, I might look at 38.2. But to be honest, your best bet is 23.6 for your entry. That's entry for pending order. Yeah. Okay, so we have come to the end of the analysis this morning. Again, if you're just joining us and you don't have an account with PU Prime, just visit our website. I'm typing it in the comment section right now. That's at www.puprime.com. And don't forget that this Friday, we're having our live trading NFP, non-farm payroll. It's the biggest event in Forex. We've been having live trading session for about 3 months now, and it's been profit galore all through. And I tell you that this Friday will not be an exception. So join us to make money this Friday. Open an account if you don't have one. If you have an account and your account is yet to be verified, please verify your account. Go back to that account page and verify your account with 2 documents, your proof of ID, which is your government-issued ID, and that can be your driver's license, international passport, NIN, or voter's card. And the second document is your proof of address, which can be any utility bill that is in your name. It can be your NEPA bill, your water rate bill, or Loma bill, but more importantly, it must be in your name. And peradventure you don't have that, you can use your 6 months, 6 months bank statement. Yeah, somebody is asking what's the minimum amount of fund. Now, the reason why I put that towards the end is this. It's not about the minimum that is important. It's about what you are trying to achieve, what profit, you are trying to make. The minimum on the platform is actually $50. But to be honest, that may be small for you to make good profit. That's the truth. I'm a trainer. My job here is to guide you in being profitable. If you want to make real profit, I will advise you fund something better than that. A 200, a 300 and above will really do. But if it's the $50 you have, you can start with that and top up later. One of the things we discourage is having this mentality of funding little and wanting to cash out to cash out big. That really is having unrealistic expectation with trading. Your profit should be realistic in line with your trading capital. So, like I said, if what you have is $50, you can get started with that with the hope that you will top up. Otherwise, I will advise you put in something more reasonable, a 200, a 500, a 1,000, a 2,000, as much as you can afford. All right. If you have any question, you can drop it in our WhatsApp group, or you can reach out to admins on this platform. We're ending the analysis now. Take care and have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.